The last record is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
Hello, welcome to GameGazm. I'm Bren.
I'm Dan.
And Dan, I hear you've been playing The Witness all week.
I have, yes. Kill me. Oh my, how to describe The Witness. It would be lazy to call it a puzzle 'em up. Maybe Intrigathon would cover most of the bases, but we're not quite there yet.
Could you sum it up in one word?
Yeah, I think I can.
What an interesting sound you've discovered.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Joking aside, there's much more to this game than staring blankly at the screen, drooling slightly and wondering if you should have stayed in school for another decade. There is that, but let's start at the beginning. You find yourself in a metal tube with no explanation as to why, and you push forward. There's a door with a yellow panel.
Congratulations, you've discovered all of the HUD.
And you use this dot to draw a line in the puzzle which opens the door.
Congratulations, you've learned how to play the game.
Which leads you to a few more basic slow and simple puzzles which open a glowing gate at the back of the garden area.
Congratulations, you've now got access to the entire game world.
And then it starts to get interesting. You find yourself on an island full of line mazes like the ones you've just seen. There are over 600. Except they're not all as simple as those first handful of puzzles, oh no. The island itself isn't as big as you might expect, and getting lost soon stops being a concern.
It is stunning to look at and explore though. The island is divided into very distinct areas, like a condensed continent with a little bit of everything. But this isn't just for aesthetic or orientation reasons. It turns out each small region contains a different type of puzzle mechanic.
This is the real meat of The Witness, the puzzle escalation. They never go beyond drawing a line on a grid, but the way you draw the line does go beyond simply getting from A to B.
You'll find puzzles where you have to draw Tetris-style shapes into the grid, while some will be mirrored and you can control two lines at once. You might have to cover up all the small hexagons on your route, or use a certain perspective to solve the puzzle. There are some puzzles where you have to separate different colours from one another, and others where you need to listen to noises around you to crack them.
The environment plays a big part too. Shadows from trees, when seen from a certain viewpoint, will betray the answer. And in other areas you'll have to look to your surroundings to see a representation of the puzzle in the actual game world. It's all very, very clever, and whilst you will tear most of your hair out playing this, the feeling of finally figuring something out for yourself is unbeatable, like finally cracking a dungeon in an old Zelda game.
It can all get a bit head-scratching as there are so many puzzle mechanics to remember here. I mean, look at this one, seriously. Not a clue. Definitely don't start forgetting the earlier puzzle types as you progress either, because later in the game they'll all start appearing together in the same puzzles in some sort of orgy of frustration.
A frustrorgy?
Yeah, that's it.
Frustrorgy. That'll be in the dictionary in 10 years' time. Sometimes you'll have to walk away from a puzzle knowing that later in the game it'll all make much more sense.
There's a lot of travelling involved as you scour the island looking for new puzzles and solutions.
This is made easier by a boat you can find, puzzle activated of course, which also shows you a handy map of which region contains which puzzle.
When you clear a certain region of puzzles, you'll unlock a light beam that shines off to the top of a mountain. This is your main progression indicator, and when you have enough of these beams, you can climb the mountain and solve a last set of particularly fiendish puzzles to see the end game.
The game world and its relationship with the puzzles deserves to be applauded. This is, after all, a remarkably fresh approach to a puzzle game. But there's an oblique narrative here that doesn't sit too well with me. There are audio diaries to find, and some very tough puzzles, the solutions to which are elsewhere on the island, will allow you to unlock video movie clips in an underground theatre. All very interesting, I'm sure, but being the type of player I am, I ended up staring at the screen thinking, who's this c***?
Well, That's no better a solution than any of the others, is it?
If you're the kind of gamer who likes to know who, where and why, you may be left feeling frustrated, but just throw yourself into the puzzle side of the experience and enjoy it for that, and you'll fare better. Go into this knowing that the journey is way better than the destination, although it's so tough to not wonder, the witness? What witness? Witness to what? Why witness? The how?
Don't think about it. If you do put a lot of time into this in the hope the ending will give you some sort of closure, it will not. Quite the opposite, in fact, at least with the ending I saw. It's hard to praise this game just because it's tough, or clever, or from Jonathan Blow, and I fear many gamers simply won't get to the finish line.
And at this kind of price, that's not really on, is it?
But I did enjoy the journey through this world of Frustrology, and I don't want to rob any one of you of a unique and enjoyable gameplay experience. Therefore, we've awarded The Witness a GameGazm 7.5, so you're probably going to have to figure out for yourself whether or not this is your kind of thing. I'll leave you with this piece of advice if you do get stuck. Just remember these 3 letters. T-A-G. Tag.
Ooh, that's cryptic. Will we ever know what that means?
It means there's always Google.
Oh, right. Or Bing.
Bing, you're such a joker. And that was The Witness.
Yeah, and we just witnessed The Witness.
The Witness.
With you witnessing us witness The Witness.
Witnessed.
Done. So Dan, like, obviously not a great... Well, you know, it's a good score, but like, I mean, you were looking forward to this one, weren't you?
I have been looking forward to this for a really long time. And to be perfectly honest, it was everything I thought it was going to be. But at the same time, just a little bit of disappointment in there for some reason. Maybe it's just too puzzly, too... Maybe I should have played it over 6 months rather than...
Yeah. But
yeah,
I mean,
it was intense.
Did you feel like NASA was training you to see if you were ready to go into space with all these logic puzzles?
I do think you could use this to measure people's IQ. Yeah, you could. I mean, I think Carol Vorderman would love it, or not. But
well, yeah.
Yeah, just a really interesting gameplay experience that I don't want to put anyone off from playing it. I almost wish there was a demo of it, but it doesn't really happen anymore, does it? But
no, because it's kind of harsh if you have to drop 30 quid just to see if you actually like it or not.
It does start you out really slowly, and everything in the game is there to teach you how to solve the different puzzles, and they do escalate and they do get really tricky, and there are moments where I was banging my head against the wall.
Just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, just what does this mean? But spend some time in the game world and it will reveal its secrets.
So overall then, on the surface, it's probably a bit hard for people to just pick up and play, but there is a very deep and rewarding game in there somewhere.
Absolutely.
But it's finding it is almost as hard as completing its puzzles.
Yes, basically.
Right? So
it's there, and I almost don't want to call it a game.
Right. Is it kind of like, it's like that feeling you get when you play Everybody's Gone to the Rapture?
Exactly like that, yeah, which I absolutely adored, but you got to put some time into that to figure out what on earth's going on, and even then, you're not entirely sure what's going on, and you never will be. It's not a simple, this is what's happened, this is what you need to do, and this is the end game. I mean, I was really disappointed by the ending that I saw, but it's not about the ending, it's not about the reward, it's about how you get there.
So make sure you... if you do decide, I'm going to buy it despite what we've said, or, you know, you want to experience it for yourself, then just bear that in mind.
Yeah, definitely. And if you don't like maze puzzles, don't bother.
Just leave it. Just leave it. Just chalk it up to, I'll let that one go. Yeah, but anyway, that's all the time we've got for this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, I've been Bren.
I've been Dan.
And we've been GameGazm.
It's a